Hey people, PJ here. Today is the day we finally find out. I'm sure you guys already know, but the poison is gone, boys. The dream is dead, Cock is dead. Why do you even play this game anymore? Guys, Poison Sexton is no more. I know, guys, I know. It's a strike. We uh we took an L today. We did. Poison Sextant will no longer give you damage and no longer give you move speed. We lost our baby today. My build got nerfed. Well, the build path must stall, but still. Uh, Poison Sexton is no more. I lost my bet with Tripolar Bear. So me and another streamer, Tripolar Bear, made a bet where I said they would not nerf Poison Sextant. If they did, I'll play his build, and if they didn't, he would play Kokai Snow. Well, it's obvious I lost, so I'm gonna be playing his build. I'll give you guys a review of the build I'm gonna be playing soon enough. Once he actually decides what to give me. Hopefully it's gonna be a blaster build. But as for right now, I wanna give you guys a first impressions on the patch notes and see how it kind of is. Hopefully they have made up, but hopefully they made up the poison nerfs. I really hope so. Because I'll be honest, guys, Poison Sexton was my baby. I hate to see it gone, even though I think Poison Sexton is kind of fucking dumb and funny. Um, I hate to see it gone. I'll be honest. Like sometimes you get, sometimes you get God, boys. This is how it is. Alright, let's go ahead and look at the patch notes and see what's going on. I'm not gonna read all of the stuff because I feel like it's much easier for me to just wait until the actual patch notes, but I'm just gonna skip through it and see what's good. So low life, low mana, low energy shield will now count as 50% life or below. I have seen this change before, when they first announced the low life stuff. I kind of feel like it's not gonna be that insane, mostly because of I don't see low life builds being that viable. At least maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like ES versions of low life builds will just be way stronger than life versions of low life builds, especially because the gem for low life costs so much money reservation. I don't even see the point of using it. I think it covers like 35% of your mana, well, of your life. So it's like you're effectively getting an aura to have less life, but you're not actually getting like anything else. This is all you get. You just get an aura that reduces your life, so effectively you just get less life. So I don't know about this. I think it's not that good of a change, but maybe I'm wrong. You never know. So it's gonna be more obvious. You'll have more. Yeah, okay. And large enough to value where players could survive a long time on low life. Will help you to gratify blood skill. As a result of certain skills, passive items will be rebalanced to compensate. Okay, so they are changing some. So what they're saying is they're gonna change some passives and some skills to make it so being low life is worth it for you, but I'm not sure how good it's gonna be. Usually when changes like this happen, they're always gonna be under buffed than over buffed, so I think no one will be playing blood skills or like low life skills until much later in the league once people have actually like insane gear. But even then, like I just don't see it being good. For example, punishment curse effect that causes enemies to take more damage while low life has been reduced in power, and as it now takes effect for a larger portion of the monster's life. What? I don't get it. Punishment curse effect that causes enemies to take more damage while on low life. Oh, okay, this makes sense. Okay, this makes sense. So not only are they changing the skills of you having low life, but they're also changing skills of damage while enemies have low life. This is actually really good. This is actually kind of good. So whenever an enemy has low life, which is 50% or below, you do like you have like additional benefits, right? Like for example, punishment curse used to make it so if an enemy has like 25% HP or less, they take like plus 100% damage increase. Now, now if it's 50% HP, then it's really good because effectively you're doubling your damage if an enemy is 50% below. I think it could be really huge. I think the punishment curse could actually be insanely good. Because look, let's say fighting a boss. If a boss is at 50%, you're doing like double damage to the boss. And most bosses have like two stages, right? Two phases. So effectively, you get the boss into execute phase, and you just like blast his cheeks. I think this could be really good. This could be insanely good, but I don't know enough skills that scale from low life. I feel like punishment curse is the one of the very few um, skills in the game that actually work off that. Well, anyway, blood magic support gem has been to split the gems. Okay, how do you have seen those changes? I'm gonna skip. I'm gonna skip most of the stuff, um, because they have announced this before in the YouTube videos. Uh, Corrupted blood now never counts as bleeding damage. Wait, what? Corrupted blood now never counts as bleed damage? What the fuck, dude? Staunching flask modifier, or surgeon flask notable now stated applied. Oh, okay. So you can still flask it. I was kind of scared for a second. I was like, wait, can you like no longer have clotted blood flasks? Okay, I guess you can. I feel like this would be a huge nerf. People were expecting bleed bow to be really good, but it doesn't count as bleed damage anymore. People were expecting clotted blood to be bleed damage. If it doesn't scale from bleed, I don't see clotted blood being good. This change just like ruined a bunch of builds, a bunch of like corrupted blood builds. Because I don't even know what corrupted blood would scale from. Because naturally it should be scaling from bleed effect. But if this is the case, I guess it scales from like physical damage in any way. Like you cannot scale this because gladiators perks, which give you like additional bleed damage, who makes it so like all of your bleed damage works as if people are moving, monsters are moving. Well, it doesn't work. Grappled blood just doesn't do shit for you anymore. Well, I feel like this was a bit much of a nerf because why would you allow us to have corrupted blood and then just take it away from us because of those nerfs? Like, how the fuck are you supposed to use this? This makes no sense to me. I think it's just a bad change. Either don't give us the ability to use Copper Blood, or just make it so we can actually scale it. I'm sure it's gonna be like I'm sure it will be OP to use, but then like sure, but just nerf it if you have. If you have to just nerf it, don't make it so like you give us something and they just take it away by nerfing it. You know what I mean? Okay, let's see. Scouted blood damage has been rebalanced, so it's more consistent between sources. So specific monsters that have very high blood damage will no longer be the strong. I don't feel like this makes much of a difference. Most people use jewels and stuff to make you not die from covered blood. Blade Storm now has a multiplier to bleed damage while in blood stance. Similar to multiplier to lacerate, to enable bleeding builds, the blood theme skill. Elder Influence weapon modifiers that grant a chance to poison or bleeds infected with this weapon have been removed, so you no longer have the additional bleed effect on your weapons from Elder bases. I feel like they just removed bleed bow builds from the game. I just feel like they just removed the all bleed builds from the game. I don't see this being warranted because not enough people play bleed bow. If you were to nerf bleed bows, I would like to see like survivability nerfs. I don't want to see damage nerfs. like the reason why bleed balls are so good is because you're playing Glad, and Glad has like fucking insane survivability. Just never takes any damage, just one shots bosses. Well, now you just have no damage. You have no damage, but you're still survivable, sure, but it's like I guess it becomes like a hardcore build, but even then, like, what would you play this? I feel like some of those changes don't make any sense to me. It feels like a straight up nerf to all bleed builds, to all poison builds. Hopefully there will be a way to redeem them, but as far as I see it, it won't be viable. If you guys are expecting to play Bleed Ball this league, I suggest play a different build. I'll be honest, it just doesn't look good. It's not looking good for you boys. Double damage chance modifiers were too multiplicatively powerful for those builds, providing power for modifiers granted. Yeah, but that's how every build works. What do you mean? Double damage chance modifiers were too multiplicatively powerful. But that's how, like, yeah, you have a bunch of mods that buff your builds. That's the name of the game, dude. That's the game of Path of Exile. You have a bunch of mods that make the game that make the game OP. I think a lot of the stuff. It's too much. No one really played. Not enough people played Bleed Ball in the first place to be warranting all those nerfs. Okay, let's keep going. The way skills specify costs have been refactored. Skills now specify what resource they use. Okay, that's gonna go, I guess. Mana cost, skills, okay, all of this stuff is just like quality of life. Visual changes, not real like game changes, so I'm gonna skip that for a bit. As a major benefit of those changes, reservation skills no longer have an associated cost by default. So you don't need the current mana available to reserve the skill. Even when your mana is completely depleted, you can still enable an aura, making it much easier to swap out of auras if you disable it. So I think they mean like precision, maybe? So like, because precision doesn't have a percentage mana reservation, it has a baseline mana reservation. So my guess is that it's gonna be like it's gonna be easier for you to use those auras, so you don't like, so you don't have to apply all of your auras in a specific order. I'm assuming, but again, it's a small thing, so I don't think it's gonna make much of a difference for any of us. Atlas of passive balance. Now this is really interesting to me because I have some ideas on what I'm gonna be farming. I'll be waiting until tomorrow or today to let you guys know what I'll be doing. But I feel like Atlas passives are the way of making really big monies. So hopefully they haven't nerfed too much stuff. So let's take a look. Um, Certain modifiers provide more rewards than average rewards granted by Atlas passives. So have their chance or rewards lowered. Some obvious ones are like high value targets or diplomatic escort. What? Wait, which one of those? High value targets and diplomatic escort, while others are more subtle, like Seance, while effectively added so much item quantity to areas. Okay, let me see. I actually kind of want to see what they nerfed because if they nerfed June farming, I'll be very, very upset. So they said they're nerfing high value targets. I'm not sure how to look for this. High value. Wait, is this it? Oh, there you go. So the nerfing sergeants for Legion farming. Okay. I guess this makes sense. I didn't really care for Legion farming too much. I felt like it was kind of underwhelming. But if they feel like it's too OP, then I don't really care. And diplomatic escort. Diplomatic escort. I forgot how to spell diplomatic. Oh no. Oh no, dude. Oh no, they're nerfing harbingers. Oh fuck no, dude. Um, okay, so one of my strategies were for me to farm this region for the sake of harbingers and for the sake of Junes. Harbingers were really good money on average, so I felt like this region would probably be the dominant region for me. Now, I would like to know how much they nerfed it just before I can make before I can decide if I want to be farming this region. I still think June's gonna be good enough to where this region will be the best region in game if you're farming June's, but Harbinger nerf could be kind of overwhelming. And they're saying the nerf in Seance. I don't see this being that insane, but maybe it was. I don't know. I guess I missed out on the Seance farming. So what this used to do is this would make it so you have a bunch of rare monsters on your map, and you would have a multiplier to all quantity from rare monsters. I believe to up to 500%, some shit like that. Harvest, possessed? No, I guess it was from somewhere else. Oh, there you go. Increased quantity of items, and I believe there was something else for more quantity from those possessed monsters, but I guess it has been reworked already. Um, I don't see this being that oppressive or being that bad. I would like Atlas to be farmable. I don't like maps are good, but I would like to have like regions being really good. You know what I mean? I feel like a region being good is better than a map being good. So I really like the Atlas Ascendancies. I feel like Atlas Ascendancies could be the new way of us playing this game. But if they feel like they're gonna nerf it or rebalance it, I'm fine with that as long as they don't go too much. Like as long as they don't nerf um, regions way too much to where they become obsolete, I'll be fine with that. Like I just don't want to see Atlas regions being stomped to the ground um, and just made non-playable. Like I really like the design. I feel like the design is really good. Just like keep it simple and keep it good for us to farm. Okay, let's keep going. Which affects the other quantity. Okay, we already read that. Certain modifiers provide fewer rewards than the standard reward increase per point invested. So they have the tier chance of rewards increased. For example, rewards from invasion exotic goods has been improved than a standard reward. So they're just giving you more stuff. Okay, that's fine. Um, it's definitely good for them to buff some things. I'm definitely all for it. Like, go ahead and buff some of the less viable ascendancies because I feel like a lot of the Atlas just is not that good. There are like 3 regions that are really good, and the rest of it is just awful. No one cares about it. Yeah, I'd say like most of the Atlas is just complete trash. Alright, let's keep going. Certain effects made more sense grouped together, like incursion passive saying all monsters in incursions are at least magic, has been moved off to lineage currents onto the existing time dilation modifier of Lexajoris. Lexajoris is now completely focused on having more rewards, more rewarding individual incursion runs, and lineage focuses on creating the best possible temple. Lexa Joyce not, but it doesn't make sense to me because this, like all monsters, at least magic, was insanely good. I don't see the point of them moving it away. And Luxajoris was what he used for creating the best temple. So why would you reverse that? Glenach Cairns has always been the best individual incursion, and Lexi Juris has already been the best temple. This does not make sense to me. I feel like they're just lying to us, and what they're trying to do is they're trying to nerf um, the region of Glenach, because Glenach is a really good region. Glenach Cairns is one of the best regions for farming Delirium, and I feel like they're just like nerfing it by taking away some of the really good um, ascendancies from that region and moving them all to the Lex Joris. I guess it makes a bit more sense because then you can farm like burial chambers and stuff, but I don't think that change is warranted. Glenach Cairns has already been a very genuinely good, well-designed region, so them removing it does make sense to me. Ritual has been added to Hierarch Hamlet, with two notables available. It replaces Beyond, Power Hungry no longer exists, and Peer Demon notable has been moved to Glenach Cairns at a slightly lowered value. So I believe Peer Demon is a Beyond notable, so you get more Beyond on the Greenwich currents, because Greenwich already has a notable for Beyond. I guess it's fine, because then you have a lot more Beyond on Greenwich. I personally don't really care for Beyond too much, but it definitely is buffing Beyond quite a bit in Greenwich. Maybe it's even gonna be making up for the nerfs of Alvas in the region. But personally, I think this notable, all the monsters, at least magic, was insanely good. When I was farming Delirium, I was getting like one exalt almost from like just from Alvas every single map. At least one exalt. Sometimes I got like 2 or 3 exalts from just Alvas in a map. I guess we don't have Nemesis. I guess we can't faction maps anymore. I'm kind of jumping the gun a little bit, but if you guys don't know, we cannot faction maps anymore. So we can no longer have cannot consume sextants. We can no longer have baseline Beyond or baseline Nemesis on our Delirium maps. And some map crafting has been nerfed or removed. So this, I guess, would not make that much of a difference because we'll no longer have Nemesis sextants on our maps, on our Delirium maps. So I guess that's fine. I guess this is fine. I feel like Delirium has taken a huge hit, and the thing is, they are nerfing Delirium for individuals, and not nerfing it for group people. Problem is, for individuals, Delirium has always been kind of balanced. It was never like Delirium was never that insane for individuals. If you're efficiently farming something else, you'll be at par with Delirium. Like if you let's say you're farming Junes. If you're farming Junes, you'll be making more currency farming Junes than you'll be farming Delirium, even if you're efficient. Delirium takes a little while to farm. Delirium has very high costs, and it takes a while, like just per map, time you spend is very high. So let's say for me to get 1 or 2 pure Tuelas from Junes, it would probably take me about 5 minutes. That's 1.5 exalts of pure profits. Well, if you're gonna be farming a full Delirium map, you can probably make, at least last league, I know the fossils were a bit more expensive last league, I was making about 3 exalts, 2 exalts of pure profits after I sold a bunch of my stuff. Well, selling takes time. Picking up 1,000 alterations a map also takes a bunch of time too. So I don't like the nerfs Delirium. I feel like group play has ruined Delirium. I feel like people who are farming like headhunters non-stop, farming doctors non-stop in 5-man groups, so like however many people you can have. Well, those people are the people who are ruining the delirium for everyone else. Again, I don't like group play in PoE. I think group play invalidates a lot of um, people's content and people's way of farming in the game. So you're effectively allowing uh, those go plays to still prosper, and you just telling everyone who's an individual to just like that they can no longer benefit from delirium. Well, okay, you'll benefit from delirium, but will no, no longer be prospering from it. Effectively, farming delirium will equate to farming slightly buffed up mobs and getting effectively the same rewards as anything else, as non-juiced mobs, because of how high the costs are and how much time you're gonna spend. Effectively, guys, you can no longer fracture maps, so you're gonna have to be buying delirium orbs one by one, unless you wanna pay 5 times as much money on just on buying bulk. That is insanely difficult. You'll be spending so much time buying those orbs. You effectively, even farming white maps will give you more money than farming delirium, just because you spend um, half an hour in your hideout buying those orbs for a couple of runs. This is insanely bad. I like to see them buffing the delirium orb drops, or at least giving you like a chance of getting delirium orbs in delirium so you can self-sustain, because this is bad. I'm sorry to say it, but delirium is no longer for us. It's no longer for individuals. If you have a group, you can definitely make it work. You can definitely make a ton of money. But if you're playing by yourself, dude, just not it. People are farming headhunters in groups. Now, when the headhunters is easily available, what people are gonna be doing is people are gonna be farming full delirium in a five man group, having full quant gear, having full rarity gear. Prices of the delirium orbs will be based on those people. But if people are farming headhunters, the price of the orbs will go up because people are getting more rewards than you on average. This is a really bad nerf. I love Delirium because Delirium is an interesting mechanic that makes you push yourself and provides you difficult endgame content. Them nerfing Delirium effectively takes away our endgame content. All we have now is um, unchallenging, easy encounters in normal maps. Most builds will no longer be challenged by those maps because of how PoE works. If you have like 10 exalts in your build, well, then you'll probably not feel that much of a challenge in normal maps. Delirium gave you a reason to invest in your build. Delirium was the pinnacle of PoE. It made you want to invest into your build. Now, if I'm playing any build and I'm just farming in normal maps, I don't really care enough to invest more into my build because I know I'm not gonna get that much value. Do you really think like getting 5% more damage in a normal map is gonna make a difference for me? Even if you farm at T16, that really doesn't make a difference. Most mobs gonna get one shot before you can even see them. So I don't know. I feel like it's a huge oversight, and hopefully they'll see that, and hopefully they'll um, revert their changes. And I still want them to nerf group play. Group play is awful for the game. It ruins the game. It invalidates our efforts, and I just don't want to see it anymore. Uh, I feel like if giving additional reward, even ultimatum, the ultimatum gives you rewards for every single member of your group. Well, you take less effort to finish one ultimatum when you have 6 people. So effectively you get 6 rewards. A group of 6 people effectively runs 6 maps while you run one map, because they get rewards of 6 ultimatums on a single map. So I don't understand why they would be buffing group play so much, but it's just bad. It's just bad for the game. No, I don't want to see it anymore. It's really, really bad. Okay, let's keep going. I know I spent a bunch of time talking about Delirium, but I feel passionate about Delirium. I love the mechanic. I love the just the gameplay of Delirium. I hate to see it being uh, reduced to nothing because of those changes. That's all I gotta say. Let's keep going. We have made a balanced pass on damage and valor skills, making them more interesting choice relative to valor skills that provide ongoing buffs. We want damage and valor skills in particular to have more reasons to be used by a larger variety of builds. Well, if you want us to use valor skills, why don't you stop nerfing them? How about that, dude? How about you stop nerfing valor skills and actually let us use them? I would love to use valor skills. I love Valark. I love Val BV. I love like a lot of really good Valve skills, but we can't use them because you're gonna have to design a build for Valve skills. Um, Unless you buff the, well, I guess you make as long as you let us have no soul prevention or like a really small difference on soul prevention, then you'll all use it. Like I wanna be using Valve skills, but I feel like soul prevention lasts so long that even if you structure the whole build around Valve skills, you will still not be able to effectively use it. Playing non-Valve skills just more um, sustained, and you won't have to pray to God that you get lucky and um, kill the boss before you run out of soul charges. So let's see what they actually did. The uptime of wall skills have been improved via various means. Soul generation on unique monsters have been increased to 6 souls per 2% life lost, with the 1 second cooldown. Okay, this is twice as many souls as before. I've played a couple of wall skills. I felt like bosses would still not give you any souls. Maybe I'm just dumb, but I felt like bosses just would never give you enough to even be able to kill the boss. Damage and valor skills have had their soul gain prevention times lowered. Okay, lowered to relative to the skill duration of valor skill. This is really good. Less soul prevention is insanely good. For valor skills that don't have a duration or ongoing effect of soul prevention, time is usually just 1 second. For valor skills that don't have a duration or ongoing effects. Is it actually 1 second? Or is it just now 1 second? Because when I play Val Arc and I use Val Arc, I swear it's not 1 second. Maybe my brain just too fast for this, but I feel like when I use Val Arc, it feels like a lot of time. Like it feels like 5 seconds of me just like waiting around for it to be up again. But maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. Reduced Val's requirement, an increased number of uses for Val skills that have relatively lower impact per use compared to other Val skills. Um, this is very subjective, and I'm not sure if it's gonna end up how people want this to end up. I'm sure people expect this to be like insanely good for everyone, but I feel like this could just end up being like, oh, we're gonna buff like this skill that no one plays. Enjoy. We're gonna buff Wall Cyclone. Yeah, how about that? We're buffing Wall Cyclone, boys. Rejoice. Rejoice. We're buffing Wall Cyclone. Yeah, I think it's gonna end up how people would like it to end up. A balanced pass has been made on all damage and valor skills. In small cases there have been buffs, except for Righteous Fire, which now provides less damage to spells while active and now sacrifice large amount of energy and life. We felt it was too easy for any spellcaster to use the skill to get significantly more damage for a long duration. So they're just nerfing Righteous Fire and buffing everything else. Um, I see Valorach's fire being too OP. I definitely see it being a bit too oppressive. Um, Too many builds use it, even though like Kokais now uses it. I don't personally like using it because it's kind of a boring skill. Because it just like you press a button, it just gives damage. But if they feel like it's a bit OP, yeah, I can definitely see it. I can definitely get behind it. We have introduced several unique items and made adjustments to existing ones to either give them higher uptime of Val skills at some cost, or allow you to utilize Val skills more easily on builds that struggles to fit them. If they're buffing Val uniques, this could be really good. If they're buffing Val skills, this could definitely be really good. Um, I feel like they nerfed too many keystones in the past for Val skills to be um, that good, even if you buff like Unix and stuff. But we will see. Maybe I'm wrong, because I know Val skills builds based on Val skills are very dependent on Unix, and it's really difficult to min max them. Like if you have a full Val, like let's say Val Fireball build, you'll most likely be full unique and have no resistances and no effective life. So we'll see how that ends up. I'm not really that hopeful, but maybe they can actually make it good. We have made balanced passes on large variety of skills that performing above power levels, either through damage, speed of clearing content, or defensive benefits. Blade Vortex. Oh, dude, my Blade Vortex, why? In all fairness, Blade Vortex is Toby. I know you guys might not believe that, but Blade Vortex is kind of OP. You probably shouldn't be able to just run through the whole map and just one-shot all living things on it. As much as I love this build, like Fire Blade Vortex is like so much fun, but I know it's OP as fuck. So yeah, maybe it's time for Blade Vortex to retire. I kind of feel like it ruins the game a little bit for people, because this is end all be all build, and if you're not playing Blade Vortex on a high end, like once they actually have like a Headhunter and like really good items, then you're just wasting your time. I feel like no build comes even close to Blade Vortex. Not one build. Okay, Blade Blast. I don't have no Blade Blast. I'll have no say in this. Toxic Rain. Toxic Rain is a really good early skill. I don't know if it's like overperforming, because Toxic Rain is good in like the first couple of like days of the league, and then it just gets outperformed by everything else. Like Toxic Rain is a really good early on skill. It's kind of like Essence Drain is. Like Toxic Rain is good early, but then it just falls off really hard. General Sky. I haven't done General Sky at all. I have never seen anyone use it even, so I don't know. Seismic Cry, no idea. Have never seen it. Carrion Golem. Now, I know Grimro was playing last league and he was saying it was insanely good. So I'm gonna believe that it's probably insanely good. So maybe their nerfs are warranted. I don't really play too many minion builds. I don't like them, but I can definitely see some of those builds being a bit OP. And Vitality. This doesn't make much sense to me. I guess this is the nerf for the ES based like aura stackers, maybe. I'm assuming Vitality is just the reason why you have like Vitality is the aura stacking main skill, because it is like it makes it so you have a lot of energy shield regeneration. Okay, First Bomb, Wave of Conviction have their exposure values lowered, so they're nerfing Kokai's normal boss damage. Okay. As those skills provide too large of elemental resistance reduction. This makes sense. I don't like to see it though. Frost Bomb has always been the main skill you wanna use, for Kokai Nova, and Wave of Conviction has always been the main skill you want to use for all of the spell skills. Wave of Conviction didn't really make much sense to me because I felt like people would always use Wave of Conviction combined with something else. Like, let's say you're playing like Fire BV, and then you just use Wave of Conviction plus um, Combustion support or flammability, and then you have like pretty much like minus 70% fire resistance on a boss. It felt a bit much. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see what they're gonna change. Flesh and Stone has 35% mana reservation. Um, okay, from 25%. Um, Flesh and Stone is pretty good defensive. Um, I'm not sure if it's like tier 1 defensive, but I guess it's something to be nerfed. Defensive power of the skill in Sand stance and the offensive power in Blood stance were too high relative to other reservation effects. I don't think this is true because most people don't really use this. Flesh and Stone is like one of those builds where if you want to play like if you want to play hardcore, it makes sense. But if you're playing like softcore league, it's not that good. At least like I guess it's good for like Cyclone, Slayer, but no, who the fuck plays Slayer, dude? No one plays Slayer. Let's be real. We have added a small reduction of stun skill reservation cost to the blood. What? Oh, so they're keeping it for Slayer, but they're nerfing it for everyone else. They're nerfing the stance skill reservation for Duelist. Okay, that makes sense. I'm fine Slayer having this. I'm definitely fine Slayer having this because Slayer needs Maim on his Cyclone. So Blood stands for Duelist is definitely really good. Vigilant Strike, I don't have much to say about this because I have never played this build. Divergent Berserk, alternative quality now grants Berserk buff for less spell damage. This makes sense because a lot of people are abusing this. What Divergent Berserk does is it makes you take less damage and gives you a ton of spell damage. So a lot of spell damage builds were abusing Berserk for insane gains in spell damage and damage reduction. So this makes a lot of sense. General balance changes. It's all nerfs. It really feels like it's all nerfs. It feels like a lot of the changes we just looked at are nerfs. So I'm gonna go as fast as possible through those, just so we don't go over an hour looking at the stuff. I try to be as fast as possible, but I know it's there's a lot to talk about for sure. And once they release the patch notes, I'll be looking at those as well. Okay, queries and caster offhands. Critical strike, crit multiplier, damage over time, and chain mods on queries now only apply to attacks and bow skills. Signal fire and rigorous quills unique queries also had their physical added as fire projectiles fork modifiers changed to attacks only. Okay, so this is just a nerf to all of the Blade Vortex people. This is a pure Blade Vortex nerf. No one else uses this. So what they're doing is they're making so you can no longer use Signal Fire. Well, I guess Signal Fire gives you less damage. Signal Fire is something you would use as Fire BV to have additional fire conversion, and additional fire damage to your fire BV. Now, when this is nerfed, you'll probably be still using Signal Fire, but you'll no longer be benefiting from it as much as you used to. Bows with Quiver could outclass many cast weapons for a variety of builds, so this change brings total offensive power to more reasonable balance, without removing the option entirely. Also makes it a lot more thematic sense. Okay, it makes more sense, but I feel like I guess void batteries are still good for 5BV. The reason why you went for bow, you used to go for bows, is because you could craft bows. Crafting wands in most cases is not optional because they're just not that good and they're a lot more expensive. So that's why you always would go for a bow. Bow had like double damage. Bows had a bunch of crit multiplier, while wands don't really have that. I believe you could craft like 100% crit multi, something like that, on a bow. So the bows were definitely a bit oppressive compared to wands. I would much rather see them buff wands than nerf quivers and bows. In all honesty, I feel like buff to buff to wands is much needed because no one really uses them too much. I'd say majority of people just use bows or void batteries. Like void batteries seems to be the only one people actually use, and nothing else is viable. Okay, physical explosion. Oh no. Oh no, exploded chests. My exploded chest did not like this. Okay, let's see what this is. Influence and synthesized modifiers that cause enemies' skill to explode will no longer have a 100% chance to apply. Their replacement modifiers grants enemies you kill have a chance to explode, dealing 10th of their life as physical damage. The new lower tier influence mod being introduced that has a lower chance. Wait, what? But this is 100% though. What was the baseline exploit chest? What's the percentage on exploit chest? It's 5% of the life. Okay, so now they're buffing the damage, but they're nerfing the chances. Um, this is really bad because then it just makes it not that good. So having a percentage chance to explode means that you will no longer be able to chain a lot of times. Like 5B will not be as good because you'll have holes in your explosions. Having holes in explosions means that you either gonna have to be forced to uh, juice your map to a point where mobs are just everywhere, so you'll no longer miss spots of explosions. I'm not sure how much they're gonna nerf the percentage chance. I'm assuming it's gonna be like half, or maybe 25% on Explodey. So Explodey just might just go out of rotation and might finally be replaced by something else. It looks like it's time for Impulse actually. It looks like my Impulse is coming back, boys. I've told you this before, Impulse is really good. Impulsa is not getting nerfed, so Impulsa will still be the best Cock Ice Nova chest in the game. Just like I promised you guys. See guys, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. Harvest Monster Life. Okay, the base life of all Harvest Monsters is now reduced. Good. Harvest Monsters have too much HP, so they just like... they're way too tanky. I've seen like Colossus in Delirium having less HP than monsters in Harvest do. So this is a good change. Hexproof modifiers that allow hexes to affect hexproof enemies. No longer allow your hexes to affect yourself while you have hexproof. Modifiers that allow hexes to affect hexproof enemies. No longer allow yourself your hexes. Okay, this is just dumb, dude. They're just removing self curse. Okay, so what this is Headhunter has a buff, which is called Hexproof. Headhunter makes you hexproof to your own curses. If you are playing a self cursor and you curse yourself, and your hexproof no longer allows you to hex yourself, you will no longer be able to give yourself temporal chains. So you will no longer be able to play. You'll no longer be able to play self cursor because you can no longer curse yourself. This is it. Self curse is completely removed. There is no physical way of you playing self curse anymore. I feel like those nerfs are a bit way too significant. I know what they're trying to go for. They're trying to like make the game a lot slower, but for people so you can't like meta farm and be ahead of the curve. But nerfing hexbuff this much does not make sense to me. I would much rather have them make it like nerf curse effect than this. This is just complete like removal from the game. You can no longer be self cursing. This is it. This is just the end of it. Fossils and beat schemes, fractured fossils, so you can no longer fracture maps. I already talked about this. So you can no longer split maps, you can no longer fracture maps, so you can no longer like farm delirium maps non-stop. Not a welcome change. I feel like this will make delirium unplayable, like I just said. No one likes buying delirium orbs one by one. Um, This calls for a rebalancing and restructuring of Delirium. I think what they should do is make it so one Delirium orb always applies a full 100% Delirium, just so you can just salvage Delirium. No one likes buying like 1,000 Delirium orbs one by one. It's just not efficient, it's not fun. Nerf Delirium drops, make it so you always have a 100% chance, 100% of delirium on the map, and then it's salvageable. Then it's at least playable. What they have done here is completely awful for the game, and it just makes us not want to do delirium anymore. Unless you have a personal crafter, even if you do have a personal crafter, this is still bad because like just I don't know. Delirium has been hit way too much. It shouldn't have never been the case. Atlas Mission Sustain. We have removed bonus mission chance from Awakening and bonus objectives, as Atlas passives combined with other bonuses, resulting in almost endless supply of missions. We have decided to keep Atlas passives at full strength and remove Awakening bonus objective bonus. So the player has a choice to invest in more Atlas missions if they desire. So they're nerfing bonus objectives, but they're giving you the Awaken bonus for missions. I don't feel like it's true. No one really had endless supply of missions. No one did. Um, so the bonus from Atlas was, I believe, 17%. 17% chance of getting a mission. Well, the Awaken, the Awaken bonus, I mean. Well, the Atlas completion. Wait, I'm sorry, am I misreading it? To keep Atlas passives. Okay, they're just removing Awaken bonus. Okay. So Atlas passives will give you 10%. Atlas passives will give you 10% chance of getting a mission, while Awaken bonus give you 17%. Then how does this work? Why would they have a... So they're effectively taking away our master missions. And then again, like, no one had endless missions. No one had endless master missions. You had a 25% chance of getting a master mission and a 25% chance of getting the master mission you need. Well, 20% chance. You have 5 different masters, or 4, and you have a 25% chance to get one of them. If I was to farm Junes, let's say, I would have to run 4 maps to get a chance of getting one mission I need. And 5, so out of those 5 runs, I would be able to get, well, I'll have to run 25 maps to get one master mission that I need. 25 maps to get one master mission is insanely bad. I don't know where this is coming from. No one had endless supply of missions. I was actively farming Junes and I had to buy them. I was actually farming Alvas and I had to farm them specifically. This is not a welcome change. Again, I feel like they're a bit onto metagaming. They were like they're just trying to like nerf the 1%, but they just end up nerfing everyone else. No one should be happy about those nerfs. No one benefits from this. If you are a casual player, you're getting fucked. If you are a juicer like me, you're also getting fucked in the ass. So this is really bad. This is really bad. I'm still excited for the league, but I feel like they're just going way too much. They're just going ham on nerfs. So the nerfing item quantity and rarity from Delirium fog. Um, this doesn't make much sense to me, I guess. So what this is the further you go in a fog, the more loot you get. So for example, you're doing, let's say doing like a burial chamber. First half of the map will always give you less rewards than the second half of the map. Um, so now they're making it you you have like a more gradual increase in quantity, but it ends up being like second half of the map, you'll only really get good benefits in the last couple of monsters that are left in the map. This does not make much sense to me. So only the final boss will have like really good quant, and all the mobs you kill gonna have less quant and less rarity than before. It's really bad. This is still a nerf. Okay, just a couple left, and we're almost done. We are vary about accessible normal scarce stats such as area effect, skill effect duration, aura effect, and projectile speed are on class of jewels notables. Given you can stack multiple of those notables on passive tree, as a result we have made small numerical nerfs to several class of jewel notables that grant above stats. So they're nerfing 5B, they're nerfing um, uh, like self cursor, they're nerfing aura stackers, they're nerfing. I don't know what projectile speed is for. I don't know what this build is abusing. So they're just nerfing all the meta builds. As a result, minor ascendancy change. Pain Reaver has been replaced with a new passive skill on Berserker, providing defensive benefits once you lose life on enemy hit. It is designed to high-risk defensive recovery mechanism, granting faster leech rate from Pain Reaver and more easily, but with associated risk. The effects of Berserker Flawless Savagery notable are no longer limited to attacks, and as small passives apply 10% physical damage instead of 12% physical damage with attacks. I don't really know how Berserker works, I have never played Berserker before, but effectively just have a bit more damage. And it's just have a little bit more damage. Immortal Ambition. Okay, I'm gonna skip the keystones because I have no idea what they do. In most cases, I have never used them, or I don't use them because they're just not that good. So I'm gonna skip them. Crafted Soul Keystone causes you to gain 15% maximum life as maximum energy shield. The Keystone allowed life-based characters to get large amount of ES very easily, while the non-chaos damage taken bypass energy shield stat did not prove to be a significant downside. So this is a nerf for the timeless jewels, for the Doriani's timeless jewel. Makes it so effectively you just have less ES, and you have like less benefits of using it. I feel like for a lot of builds it was a staple. I don't think it was a staple because of this per se. Like, yes, it was good, but it wasn't why you went for it. The reason why you went for it was because of the damage and because of the. I guess still yes, it was still kind of good. You could stack up to like 4,000 ES by using this and using the craft on the chest. So it's a small nerf, but you definitely feel it. They're just nerfing. Again, it's just the one of the only builds affected by this is gonna be the 5v. Haven't really seen too many builds using this. Um, so I don't see this being that big for everyone else. As I mentioned above, Chainbreaker Keystone no longer causes you to lose 5 rage when you hit an enemy, but now instead has skills cost 3 rage. The Keystone allowed certain skills to either didn't hit, such as Bane, or skills didn't count as you, such as Totems and Mines. So this is a nerf to all of the people who are abusing Mines and Berserker, because what would happen was they would have infinite damage from the Berserker, and they would never lose rage because they're physically not hitting the enemy. So you always have maximum damage from Berserker, and it's just like pumping insane DPS on the bosses. A welcome change. I think it's a bit cheesy. I have seen people abusing it, and probably leave Berserker into Berserker. Probably, yeah. I don't think it's that good of a game. Hardened Scars no longer grants Fortify. Again, I don't know what. I'm assuming this is a Berserker nerf. Consume Corpse. Don't care. Wait, there was an error in the Fractured Fossils in Beast splitting section that stated that split items cannot be mirrored. Split items can be mirrored, and the plus have been updated. Wait, so you can mirror items? So, because people were telling me how you can no longer mirror maps. Okay, let's see. Splitting an item through beast crafting now applies a split tag on both items, similar to mirrored. Items that have fractured fossils used in them will also have a split tag. Split items cannot be split again, and cannot have imprints applied to them. What? What? Those? What the fuck are they saying? There was an error in the fractured fossils. Beast crafting section that stated that split items cannot be mirrored. Split items can be mirrored. But I didn't change this. What do you mean? So can you mirror them? Like, you cannot. It says split items cannot be split again. Split items can be mirrored. Wait, do they actually mean mirrored? Like, fucking. Oh, okay. Okay, this makes sense. They're saying you can mirror them. Like, using an actual mirror on an item. Who cares about this? who the fuck cares about this, dude? I guess it's for like the 111%, but no one gives a fuck. I was hoping for a second that would allow us to fracture maps still, but no, they're just saying that you can use mirror orb, whatever it's called, like mirror shard on the items you split, which doesn't make much of a difference for us. No one's gonna be using mirrors to mirror maps. So yeah, overall, my opinion on this is that a lot of the nerfs are not warranted, and a lot of the nerfs are going way too far. I feel like they're just putting their foot down for the sake of doing it, and it might cause a backlash. I feel like they're just, I don't know what the word for it is, but they almost hate us. They almost hate the metagame. They definitely have their own way of seeing how the game should play out. They are obviously going against the community. I think some of the nerfs are warranted, like BV nerfs, because BV has just been way too good for way too long. Like the Orslaking builds nerf, which also makes sense, but removing Self-Curse from the game, why do we even have Headhunter anymore? What's the reason for having a Headhunter? They're giving us a Headhunter, but be like, oh, you can have a Headhunter, but you cannot use it. You cannot use a fucking Headhunter. Dude. What are you gonna be using Headhunter for? Delirium? Well, you're not gonna be farming Delirium anytime soon because you can't even fracture it. Who wants to farm Delirium if you cannot use Delirium? Like, you cannot do much about Delirium. Like, no one's gonna be buying orbs because buying orbs is inefficient. No one's gonna be farming Delirium by themselves unless you have a group. Sure, I guess people who are farming in a group like gonna use a headhunter, but no one else will. What, you think you're gonna use a headhunter in normal maps? Fuck no, dude. Yeah, you're not using a headhunter in normal maps. It's just bad. So I don't see those. I don't see any of those changes making sense to anyone. I feel like the game will be a lot slower, which is fine, but it just makes it so you don't have. There's nothing you can look forward to. I feel like you're just going to be stuck in maps. There will be no reason for you to invest in your build. We'll all play like 5 exalt builds, and we'll all be like stuck, not knowing what else to do. Delirium's gone. Headhunters is useless. Self Curse is gone. Aura Stacking is getting nerfed again. Fire BV is gone. It was one of the highest investment builds in the game. What else is there for you to look for? What are you looking forward to? Hopefully we found out in 4 days. I'm still excited for the league. I just wanna I just wanna see how it plays out right now. I still think the league mechanic is really cool. I'm still gonna be blasting all day long. I'll have fun. Hopefully Tripolar Bear chooses a good build for me, because I'm gonna be just doing whatever. This league I will not be juicing Delirium for once. I've been farming Delirium for the past year and a half, I think, non-stop every league, and it's finally time for me to do something else. Let me guys know if you let me guys know what you're gonna be doing this league, because I might have to get some ideas from you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next one. Streams are coming up soon. If you guys wanna check me out, it's Twitch TV at Personal Jesus, and yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Peace, y'all.